how do I evaluate seniority of developers if I don't just want to look at the years of experience?
To evaluate seniority, you really need a huge process, to be honest, because there's so many false flags, right? And people can be really, really good at selling themselves, even though they don't know too much, what they're doing. So you want to have a rigorous process that tests for different things. You want to test for, obviously, the technical knowledge, but you also want to test for the culture fit. You want to test for their ability to ask communications. So you want to structure your hiring process to consist of different exercises that test for these different qualities. You might have a culture fit interview. You might want to have a coding challenge. You might want to have a technical exercise that has them, find edge cases. A really good one that I like is if you have a ticket that you recognize had lots of edge cases, then isolate that branch of your code base. And, once your code base has sufficiently advanced so that it doesn't give away too much of your secrets of your proprietary code, then chop up that branch to only reveal the necessary stuff so it leaks even less proprietary software. Obviously, make sure that this is okay with your managers, and if you're a manager yourself, think about whether it's okay. But then you can use this isolated branch with a problem that had lots of edge cases that were discovered after the fact, and that is a perfect coding exercise or a perfect take-home exercise for your candidates, because then you can see, okay, which edge cases did my internal team find? And then you can compare, does this new developer also find all of these edge cases? And this will really evaluate their ability to think for themselves. And then the last most important thing to look out for seniors is also the first few weeks in a company, because a good senior developer asks lots of questions. And that's the biggest misconception for junior developers. They think, hey, if I ask a question, that just points, that reflects bad on me. But that is absolutely not the case. I can show you, after being a manager for like 5 years now and also working with tons of managers through my company ReactSquad, most managers are looking for the types of questions that you ask, and they specifically are also looking for, are your questions getting progressively deeper, right? Because by the questions that you ask, a manager can tell, okay, he's this deep into the code base, he's this deep into the code base. Okay, now come the deep questions, so he must be here in terms of his understanding. Yeah, so ask better questions, I would say, when you are onboarding is the biggest tip for senior developers, and that's also how you should evaluate them once you've hired them. And then if they don't fit in well in the team, if you get bad feedback from also the other team members, because 360 review is also a very important tool in your tool belt to evaluate developers, then you might need to let that person go again. And hire fast, fire fast is always important when building teams.